Hello, I'm Samantha Nolan-Smith from the School of Visibility. At the School of Visibility, we are very interested in all the ways we can be seen and heard and all the ways we can see and hear. I have a firm belief or appreciation that when we feel unseen and we feel unheard, it is very difficult for us to see and hear others. We can't hold space for them, for their emotions, for their ideas, because we're still fighting to be heard ourselves. And that's in the essence of what this video is about and what we'll do once a month, a video like this, where we're learning to see those parts of ourselves that feel unseen and unheard, and we're giving them that gift. And in turn, we're learning to better see and hear others. I firmly believe, again, I've got a lot of firm beliefs in this, and that's something we're going to talk about actually, that if we can learn to hear and see and articulate better, then we can develop a world that is much more harmonious. We can create much better solutions in very challenging times, such as those we find ourselves in the 21st century. And the first step in that is what I call visibility work. So this is a clearing exercise. And for this month, I really took what I had observed in the last month. When I'm recording this, it is the beginning of May 2024. And thought about what do we need to bring forward, what isn't being heard and seen, and what do we need to see and hear. And what I observed is the world feels chaotic, very noisy at the moment. There's a lot of antagonism, there's a lot of entrenchment. It's not a surprise that this concept of firm belief came up multiple times, because there are a lot of people with firm beliefs, and rather than creating spaces for us to hear and see one another, we tend to be sort of getting into camps and shouting at one another. And of course, that has never been a good strategy, hasn't really ever got us anywhere collectively, and hasn't solved any of the problems that we're shouting about either. And so I offer this process as a way of overcoming some of the emotional intensity of that, and then giving us a place to just stop, come to a place of greater equanimity, and then choosing how we're going to act, how we're going to speak, how we're going to move forward from there. So we're using Compassion Key, and we're using it both to acknowledge the parts of ourselves that feel unseen and unheard, and then we're going to swap it to give ourselves the perspective of how another might feel. Now, sometimes when we do that switch, we feel like I'm not doing that. I'm not being like that. I'm not behaving like that. And I encourage you to take the exercise anyway. It's certainly not going to hurt you to do it. And sometimes what it does is it just opens up a possibility of seeing things differently. It opens us up to multiple perspectives rather than entrenching us in a singular perspective. And that feels like something that is very helpful for the planet right now. So all you need to do is, you can do this eyes open, eyes closed. You could even do this walking if you wanted. I've often applied Compassion Key, this process, while I've walked. Sometimes emotion comes up. Sometimes you just move through some of the phrases and, you don't notice anything in particular. Sometimes a memory arises, stories arise. Don't worry about putting too much emphasis on that. Just keep going with the process, keep following along, and try and come into a state of allowing, just allowing what is to be here. I'm going to say a phrase, you're going to repeat it. You're going to send compassion to yourself as you're saying it. And we're going to talk as if we're talking to a third person. So we're saying, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm so sorry this happened to you. And what we're talking to, or who we're talking to, are those wounded parts of ourselves, the frustrated parts of ourselves, the angry parts of ourselves. And the person that's speaking is the compassionate self. So compassionate self, eternally present self, is talking to angry, frustrated, wounded self. So let's just give it a try. If you've been with the School of Visibility for a while, you're familiar maybe with this process. It's one of the tools that we use at the School of Visibility. We use many. And if you're new to it, just follow along. And wherever you might find this video, if you have questions, feel free. If there's a chat section, feel free to post in the chat, and I'm happy to explain further to you. Okay. So get comfortable. Do whatever you need to do. Just don't be driving while you're doing this. Preferably you won't be interrupted. As I said, you could do it as a sort of a walking meditation, clearing exercise, or you do it seated. Maybe you could do it lying down. Just don't fall asleep. A good option is just to sit comfortably in a quiet space. Eyes open or eyes closed as you wish. Bring your attention, your focus down into your torso. Perhaps place your hands on your torso, on a part of your body that feels like it just might need some comfort at the moment. Breathe here. And connect into that expansive part of yourself. This can be a point at which it's comfortable and useful to close the eyes if that feels safe to you to do. I'll keep my eyes closed from now on to stay focused. Feel into that heart center. Notice the compassion that resides there. And then just notice how expansive that compassionate energy is in front of you, how it can really extend out in front of you. Notice how expansive it is behind. And to either side. And then repeating these phrases after me, speaking to those parts of you that feel upset and frustrated, dismissed, misunderstood. I'm so sorry they don't understand you. And remember, most of these phrases we're going to take a flip and we're going to say them in both directions. And this is really important for this particular topic that we're investigating today. I'm so sorry you don't understand them. I'm so sorry they're so noisy. I'm so sorry you're so noisy to them. I'm so sorry they don't like you. I'm so sorry you don't like them. I'm so sorry they frighten you. I'm so sorry you frighten them. I'm so sorry they're not listening. I'm so sorry you're not listening. I'm so sorry they're not open to conversation. I'm so sorry you're not open to conversation. I'm so sorry they're talking about things they don't understand. I'm so sorry you're talking about things you don't understand. I'm so sorry they don't see the full picture. I'm so sorry you don't see the full picture. I'm so sorry they don't see you. I'm so sorry you don't see them. I'm so sorry this world is so distressing. I'm so sorry you're not sure how to make a difference. I'm so sorry it's unclear how to cut through the noise. I'm so sorry it's difficult to be peaceful in an unpeaceful world. And now take a breath here. Blow it out. And just open the eyes when you're ready. And that's our visibility process for the month of May. Thank you for being here.